How do you discuss with your students about the widespread disparities in special education especially when it comes to overrepresentation,
Hmm.
disproportionate minorities
Hmm.
in special education classes? And can you explain your answer and
Yes.
how they react to that?
Right. So I'm really committed to this whole issue of making it clear that special education teachers have a responsibility to address the needs of all learners. Unfortunately, we do have too many students of color who are in this, are receiving special education services. That goes to our disproportionate overrepresentation. And I actually use some class time. I teach a class on curriculum methods for diverse learners, and I spend a lot of time trying to make sure that students understand the disproportionate overrepresentation. I use the law, the statistics from the federal government. They have an annual report, and I use those statistics so that the students can look at how the numbers are changing, how they have changed over time. In addition, I talk to them about my commitment because I'm an African American woman, and I really do believe that students with disabilities need to have an advocate. I consider myself an advocate for those populations. And so I talk to them about the fact that there is overrepresentation, that most of the students are Latin, Latina, or African American, or students of color who are being overly represented. And then I talk to them about my own personal feelings about that, how my commitment, the reason I'm in special education is because of my commitment to those populations. And look, there's no way around it. In addition, I also teach culturally responsive teaching techniques. I draw on the work of Zaretta Hammond, who talks about culturally responsive teaching in the brain and how, when children feel alienated, when they feel nervous, when they feel as though they don't have a place, how that impacts on their brain, and then what needs to happen to include students to incorporate them, to make them feel like they're in a non-threatening environment. Those things, along with the work of Geneva Gay and Gloria Latson Billings, Lisa Delpit, all those people who have been big in the field of cultural responsiveness, I try to incorporate all their work and bring that in, and just make sure that my students leave having an awareness of how culture plays a part in learning in across math, ELA, and the other content areas.